Let's now take a look at Action TV.
Traditional Chena farmers in the Kulegama and Polgasen areas were deprived of their traditional farmlands in the Dambamba Divisional Secretariat area in Ampara during the war, as there were fears that the enemy could build encampments in the area. However, even after the dawn of peace, these farmers have been deprived of their farmlands. In 2009, the Department of Wildlife Conservation decided to declare this area a wildlife reserve. Under this program, the Wildlife Conservation Department, which was experiencing the dividends of peace, launched a teak plantation project which turned out to be an utter failure and resulted in the government incurring a loss as well. Thereafter, in 2011, 50 acres of this land was handed over to the Department of Civil Defence. Meanwhile, yet another 50 acres was handed over to an individual based on a similar agreement. This agreement, which is valid for a period of 3 years, clearly states that only the cow tree can be planted in order to be used to obtain wood. The required plants were also provided by the Department of Wildlife Conservation. Although the Department of Civil Defence attempted to conceal this fact, this secret has been leaked. For many years, this land provided for the Chena farmers of the Kulegama and Polgasena areas. However, they have been forbidden to farm on this land, while the Department of Civil Defence carried out farming activities. The Department of Wildlife Conservation, which signed agreements with the department, remained silent in the face of the agreement's term being violated. Meanwhile, the individual who was handed over the other 50 acres is currently cultivating corn. The said individual has leased out this 50-acre plot of land among a group of farmers to carry out the cultivation. Shouldn't the Wildlife Conservation Department take steps to annul the agreements which has provided the Department of Civil Defence and an individual something similar to a golden goose, and take steps to restore these livelihoods of hundreds of farmers living in these areas? Director of Wildlife Conservation, this is over to you.
The Ceylon Teachers Union convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
Western Province Director Aila Peruma went to the area on Friday and conducted an investigation and issued a report on the same day. This is a strange report. No wrongdoers have been identified in this report. Money had been collected with the parents' approval, but no one knew about it. This is a joke. The Minister of Education is efficient to an extent that it can release such a report in one day. It has been 2 months since the ordinary level exam questions papers were leaked out, but what happened to the investigation report? If the Ministry of Health can pay its electricity bills and the police can pay the electricity bill of all police stations, why can't the electricity bills of schools be paid? Each school is only provided 1,500 or 3,000 rupees. The government shows this and urges for money to be collected and for telephone bills to be paid.
46 houses, including 2 school buildings in the Ranajayagama War Heroes village in Ipalogama, Anuradhapura, were damaged by strong winds this afternoon. Our reporter says that 5 school children who were injured in accidents caused by the winds have been hospitalized.
Strong winds blew across many areas this afternoon and between 8 and 9 p.m. yesterday. 2 3-story buildings of the Ranajayapura Mahavidyalaya located in the Ranajayapura War Heroes village in Ipalogama, Anuradhapura were damaged by the strong winds this afternoon. 3 schoolboys and 2 schoolgirls who were injured when small parts of the school building were blown away are currently receiving treatment at the Kakirawa hospital. Our reporter added that 18 houses in the village as well as 10 shops in the surrounding areas were damaged by the winds. The power supply to the area was also disrupted as a result of this. 20 homes in the Great Western Estate in Thalawakale were damaged by strong winds at about 9 o'clock last night. Our reporter says the power supply to about 50 estate homes were disrupted by the winds. 31 homes were damaged by strong winds in the Kegol and Mathura districts. The Botri and the pagoda of the Sri Sudarshana Ram Vihare in Mavanalla were also damaged by the strong winds last night.
Managing Director of Lanka IOC, Subodh Dakwale, revealed that the stock of diesel, which spurred controversy recently, had not in fact been offloaded from the ship. He notes that the shipment of diesel had been turned back as it did not meet 2 out of 19 parameters.
The Lanka IOC organization convened a media briefing in Colombo today to clarify media reports on the importation of substandard diesel.
We have some product, we take it in Colombo and then some in Trincomalee, depending upon the available alleges. This particular parcel also was carrying 2 port discharge. That means something was to come to Colombo and thereafter to go to Trincomalee. So 7,500 metric ton of diesel has come, out of which 4,700 metric ton of diesel was to be offloaded in Colombo and rest 2,800 metric ton in Trincomalee. As an abundant precaution, whenever the ship comes, the samples are taken and samples are sent to the lab. In case of Colombo, it goes to CPSTL lab. In case of Trincomalee, it goes to LIOC lab. In this case, the sample of diesel did not meet specification. One is appearance, second is on color. Rightly, it was immediately decided not to offload this product. So not a single drop of diesel has been discharged from the ship.
Parliamentarian Arjun Ranatunga says that he could join the cricket board and develop the sport if politicians do not lay a hand on cricket. He made this statement during a visit to Zahira College in Darga town, Alutkama.
මට ක්‍රිකට් පාලක මණ්ඩලය හදත හැකි හොරකම් නවත්තත හැකි ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩාවත් හරි මාර්ගයේ යවත
I can correct the cricket board. I can stop theft and take the sport of cricket down the correct path. There is one thing I cannot do. The leaders in the country are interfering in this. At the past election for the cricket board, the group that the leaders wanted were appointed. $80 million or 80,000 million rupees was spent on the construction of stadiums as per the wants of the leaders. Sometimes they don't even have 10 international matches a year in a stadium. It is closed for more than 350 days. Those in administration at the time pocketed an even larger sum of money. Politicians have crept into this and they have destroyed cricket in the country.
දේශපාලඥයෝ මෙවට රිංගලා රටේ ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩාව විනාශ කරා.
This event was held to donate cricket equipment to Zahira College in Darga town, Alutkama.
Well, Shane, veterans and starlets alike are among the star-studded list of nominees for the coveted Best Supporting Actress Oscar at the 85th Academy Awards to be held later this month.
That's right, Sonali. Tonight on our special segment for the Oscars, Shaheen Jurangpati and Katrina Chang take a look at who could possibly win the coveted award.
To have to explain ourselves. For what? For what we do, we have to go.
It says that amending the Constitution and abolishing slavery will end this war. And since you are sending my son into the war, woe unto you if you fail to pass the
And a father abandoned a slave in his flight. Now she lives with a innkeeper man and his wife, and I pay for it.
Your money's on the desk over there.
Yes, it is.
That was the wrong way to start off.
It really was. Shall we start again?
Please, you start.
I'm not a prostitute. You don't have to pay me up front.
Somebody was in my study. Who took one of my envelopes? Somebody took an envelope.
Maybe we should call the FBI.
You don't get a copy of credit. You can't finish your
You talk that stupid.
Those were the nominees for the Best Supporting Actress for the 2013 Academy Awards. Now, last night we saw Anne Hathaway being recognized for her role in Les Miserables when she walked away with a BAFTA for Best Supporting Actress. Now, will this repeat at the Oscars? For insight into the Best Supporting Actress nominees, we caught up with two art directors in the island.
Well, it's actually one name that pops up at the moment, and she's the odds-on favorite to win, and that is Anne Hathaway for her performance in Les Miserables. Now, her performance, I think, is she gives a fantastic singing performance in the movie, and she also plumbs the depths of this woman in despair who is forced to send her child into labor and who begs of Jean Valjean to actually help her. So she actually makes it very emotional in the short screen time that she has, and she sings that very famous song, I Dreamed a Dream, which is, I think, the clincher in the movie.
You insist that amending the Constitution and abolishing slavery will end this war, and since you are sending my son...
Sally Field for Lincoln. Now, there's brilliance, absolute brilliance, because you're pitted against an actor like Daniel Day-Lewis, who is not... I mean, he's Abraham Lincoln in that. Every movement, every twitch, every smile, the humor. And for such a tremendous performance, to be able to come on par is my opinion of a Best Supporting Actress. And Sally Field, with a mix of emotions and body language, really comes up to the level of Daniel Day-Lewis.
Minister of Sports Mahindananda Alutkamage says that the new regulations in the Sports Act only allow suitable persons to contest for the post of President and Secretary of sporting bodies. The minister made the statement on the Inside Sports program telecast on our sister channel Sirasa TV yesterday.
Though the minister imposed all these regulations, there is one place where it says that the minister can appoint anyone based on his wish.
ඒ පුද්ගලයාට ඇතුල් වෙන්න අවසර දිය හැකියි කියලා.
දැන් මේකේ I agree that the minister has the power to do so.
අසීමිත බලයක් තිබෙනවා.
ඔව් අසීමිත බලයක්. When such regulations are imposed, the individuals who genuinely work may not get an opportunity to get involved.
හැබැයි සුදුසුකම් නැති කෙනෙක්ට ඔබතුමාලා එන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ.
නෑ පැහැදිලිව දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ සභාපති ලේකම් තනතුරට එන්න බෑ. No, of course not. Not as chairman or secretary. If people who do not have an idea about athletics come into the Athletics Association, then the association will get into trouble. So our criteria is that a president or a secretary should be well aware of the subject they represent.
අපි අහන්නේ අමතුමනි එහෙම නොවන කෙනෙක් එන්නත් ඉඩ ප්‍රස්තාව තිබෙනවා නේද? ඔබතුමා අතේ තිබෙනවා නේද? තිබෙනවා.
The Sri Lankan cricket team's batting coach Mavanatha Pattu has been appointed as the team's assistant coach as well. CEO of Sri Lanka Cricket Ajit Jayasekara told Sports First that the approval of the executive committee was obtained for the appointment.
Director General of the Institute of Sports Medicine, Professor Arjuna De Silva, says that a certificate from a doctor is needed prior to an individual's involvement in sports. He expressed this view at a media briefing held in Colombo today on preventing injuries in sports.
Much attention was given to a program jointly launched by the Ministry of Sports and the Institute of Sports Medicine on the 26 methods which can help prevent or minimize injuries in the sport of rugby. The country loses several school-level athletes due to injuries. A certificate from an MBBS qualified doctor is needed to compete in sports. This is needed in all sports. They ask us all of a sudden to give doctors reports to around 2,000 athletes for a marathon tomorrow. This will have no use. Even young athletes could have cardiac problems.
ඒ කියන්නේ තරුණ අයට උනත් හැදෙන්න පුළුවන්.
ප්‍රාථමික අවධියේ ඉඳලා ක්‍රීඩකයන් ක්‍රීඩා කරගෙන ඇවිල්ලා
Athletes who make it to the national level are very few. The main reason for this is injuries. Since the sportsmen and women do not get proper treatment when they are injured, they are unable to reach national level. The Minister of Sports and the Minister of Education have forwarded a joint cabinet paper to be tabled next week. We have agreed that the Ministry of Sports and Education will arrive at a common decision.
එකට පොදු තීන්දුවකට එනවයි කියලා.
With that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Primetime News. I'm Sonali Vanigababage.
And I'm Shayan Silva. Take care and good night.